is Dia Prevost, and welcome to Channel 12 News. Today our topic of discussion is the infestation of the hemlock woolly adelgid. We have some experts in the field that will be chiming in today. First, in Tokyo, Japan, we have Professor Tara Bent at the Tokyo Research Institute. Over to you, Tara.
Thank you, Dia. Today, we will be discussing the history of the hemlock woolly adelgid. Come over here. It started in Japan, and it migrated over to the United States, the eastern United States, and it was first detected in Richmond, Virginia. Some theories say that it traveled by boat and that the egg sacs were on the boat, and that's how it was transported. It has migrated to 11 states, from Massachusetts to Georgia. 50% of the hemlocks have been affected, and that is as of 2007. Thank you, Dia. Back to you.
After that intriguing information, I had no idea that such a small pest would originate from Japan. So next we'll be hearing from Dr. Yvonne Peterson at the Richmond, Virginia Research Institute, and she'll be talking about the life cycle.
Thank you, Dia. We are here at the Richmond Research Facility, and we are here to talk to you about the hemlock woolly adelgid life cycle. All right. To start us off, we're going to go through a short introductory clip. Now that we've seen a fun introduction of the life cycle, let's go into the details. The hemlock woolly adelgid has 2 generations every year. We have the Sistenes generation, and that comes from the Latin word to halt, which means that they're going to go through a dormancy period, which happens right around here. The Progrediens generation, they go from eggs all the way through adult with no halting in progress whatsoever. We're going to start with the Progrediens for simplicity. The Progrediens generation starts when the Sistine adult lays its 50 to 300 eggs in this white woolly substance called an egg mass, which is where the name woolly adelgid comes from. The eggs hatch and they become crawlers, which look something like this. Now, if you look at your pennies and the scale right here, you can see that this is a pretty small creature. This just shows the difference between a crawler and an adult. They're not too different, but the adult gets uglier. It's to find a place to live. So it's going to look for the youngest, freshest needles on the hemlock tree, and it's either going to crawl straight from the egg to a great spot, or it's going to float on the wind and then crawl to relocate itself to where it wants to be. Then it's going to insert its stylet into the xylem of the hemlock tree, and wherever it sticks its stylet, it's going to stay for life. So this is the stylet that you can see right here in the rectangle, and there's a closer view of that. It's just this long straw that goes into the xylem. So now that they've found a feeding source, they can develop from stage 2, 3, and 4 all the way to adults. Now this generation has 2 different adult forms. We have the winged adult, which looks like this. And what the winged adults do is they don't like the hemlock trees. So they are going to go look for a certain kind of spruce tree that we don't have in North America. It's called the tiger tail tree. And because we don't have these trees, the winged adults just go out looking for them and they die because they starve without their happy food source. If they were to find a tiger tail spruce tree, then they would be able to go through asexual reproduction, and we would have male hemlock woolly adelgids as well. But because we do not have this kind of spruce, we don't have to worry about the males in the United States at all. The other version is just a wingless form, and its life cycle ends when it lays its 50 to 300 eggs for the Cysteines generation. And that is the end of the Progrediens. The Progrediens generation ends when the adult lays its 50 to 300 eggs, which are the start of the Cysteines generation. The eggs hatch sometime in July, and the crawlers are formed come from the eggs, and they go through their estivating period, which is basically the same thing as hibernation, only it happens in the summer instead of the winter, which is why it has a different name. So they estivate all the way until October or November. And this is what they look like when they're doing that. They're just laying there, they do not eat. And they do this all the way until November. They're gonna wake up, stick their stylets in the xylem of the hemlock tree, and then they can continue eating and developing from the nymph forms 2, 3, and 4, all the way until they reach adulthood here in March. When they reach adulthood, they lay the Progrediens eggs. They're 50 to 300 each, and the whole cycle starts over for another year. Back to you, Dia.
Wow, I can't believe such a small pest can create such a huge impact. Thank you, Yvonne. So what actually does happen when hemlock trees are attacked? To answer this question is Chelsea Applegate at the Institute of BYU Idaho.
Thank you, Dia. I'm here on the BYU Idaho campus. It's such a beautiful thing. The horticulture department definitely knows what they're doing. That Brother Nelson. Here we have some beautiful cottonwoods, and then the poor, sad hemlocks who get eaten by the hemlock woolly adelgid. Come closer and I'll show you some symptoms. Did come over, however, from Japan, as Tara the Beautiful told you. Here is some of the symptoms though. It's got this white, they get this white little fluff balls, and this is a great showing of it. And they burrow into the bark. Not necessarily the needles, so it comes down, and they burrow themselves into the bark and they suck all of the stuff out of it with their little sucking thing that you saw in the life cycle. After about 3 years of the hemlock woolly adelgid's attack, the needles fall prematurely, leading it into death and destruction even more. As you can see right here in the picture, there's some gray patches and some green patches, and the gray is happening because of the hemlock woolly adelgid sucking out the goodness of the tree. And the way these are transported, you see how easily it is to come off? Yuck! Egg sacs on my hand! See, animals will come by and get it on their coats, and then they'll transport it to other trees all around them because the branches are so low. That's why the majority of the egg sacs are on the bottom part of the branches. But it just works its way up and kills the whole tree eventually after about 10 years.
Thank you, Chelsea. That horticulture department definitely knows what they're doing. Wow, no wonder why they took first at Planet. So our last specialist will be Ranger Eric Kerr, and he will be enlightening us on the control methods of this pesky bug.
Thank you, Dia. Here we are outside, as you can see. We've got the hemlock here. We've got the woolly adelgid showing up. And we are going to cover the different control measures that you can do as a homeowner and as knowledge to be aware of when you are out in nature. So as everybody generally refers to, you've got your chemical measures that you can do in order to control these. One is the horticultural soap or the insecticidal oil, which you use the hose end sprayer for. You soak it onto the hose end sprayer. You have your concentrate inside of here, and as it sprays out, it actually dilutes it to the specific rate of what you need to in order to coat the adelgid. So studies have been done that the imidacloprid is the best insecticide to use, generally applied as a soil drench. This particular one is a soil base granular form. This one, of course, is used more inside of greenhouses, but this is what I had on hand to use. So here we have our mixture of imidacloprid as a soil drench. We've already come through and mixed it up to the label and instructions. When doing so, we want to make sure that we have adequate space underneath the tree covered so that the root system can take up all of the insecticide and protect your tree from this nasty little bug.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
What this does is it soaks up through the feeder roots of the tree and it is absorbed through the entire system. It actually will control the adelgid for years to come. It will get rid of these and you'll actually see the recovering of your hemlock trees. So other than the chemical use and protecting your tree, there is the biological measures that you can do, most of which is one, being aware of what it is, and two, using beetles that are not common to the US that have been brought in and found to be very, very, very useful at eliminating the hemlock woolly adelgid. The bug that's been used the most and doing the most damage against the adelgid is called the ST beetle for short. It comes out of Japan. It is about the size of a ladybug. Any other measures, you can contact us. Dia, back to you.
Thank you to all of our specialists that have informed us today on this invasive pest. If you need help with your hemlock trees, please call 1-800-HEMLOCK. This is Dia Prelio, Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Are this white looking, it's this white.
Michael.
Go. Hello. Today, I forgot this.
They turn a nasty gray color, as you can see right here. No, I was gonna make it into the one.
Sorry.
Come back.
Adults, and they and the perfect ingredients.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Mixed it to label perspections.
No, it is. Oh my gosh. Yes!
Thank you, Chelsea. That horticulture department.